Hello, my name is Anne and welcome to episode 12 of a Tobyknits Quilty Fun podcast. Today it's all about the quilting, and boy have I got a lot to show you. It's been a very busy week under the sewing machine, so let me get started. First off, I am doing Cotton Cuts puzzle mystery. Now if you don't know what a puzzle mystery is, and I think it's one of the only companies that I know that does this. They pre-cut the block for you. And so I wanted to try it to see how it worked versus here's a fat quarter, cut it into these pieces and then sew them together, and this is what you've left over fabric. Sometimes you can use it, sometimes you can't. With the puzzle mystery, it's pre-cut for you, so it comes in pieces already cut into triangles or squares or whatever, and you then sew them together. And this one is what Clue 8 looks like. So this is one I just did, so it was really very interesting. You put together your block. I had to make 2 of these. So you put together these first, then sew them into a 4 patch, and then these 2 here were the big square, the oblongs, where you then put your corners, triangles on. Now normally this would be, so you can see on the back how they come out. This normally would be a square that you would have placed onto your oblong. In this instance, it's 3 triangles that you're just literally sewing together. And then you would have cut off and had this sort of extra part of that fabric that you couldn't use again. Well, unless you put it in tiny little triangles or something. So it's really interesting. But the other really fun part about the puzzle mystery is I had to make 2 of these, but I don't know where in the quilt they're going to go. I don't know what they're going, this quilt is going to look like. This is all I have right now. This is 8. I believe 9 is the last set of blocks we have to make. And each time they're different. They could be a bunch of strip sewing, or it's block sewing like this. But this will be what, and then I think number 10 shows us how to take all the pieces like a puzzle and sew them all together to make a quilt. How exciting is that? So I'm excited for that, and I'm excited to share that with you. I did do a video a couple of weeks back where I showed you how you actually put together a puzzle piece, like a piece with all the little various bits. So you can always go back and check that out if you're still not really sure what I'm talking about. But that was fun. The other thing I did was, as you know, I get the Sew Sampler box once a month, and in that box, as a perk, is we get the Brightside Quilt Along monthly block. Now you can buy these for, I think they're $4.95 on the website as a PDF, or you can get the card. The very first one I did, I bought it as a PDF because I had not at that point signed up to Sew Sampler. And but the rest of them all I have. So this was the one here that we got to make, and here it is. Now, one of the things you might notice is I typically don't starch. I was never quite in on the starching thing at the beginning, but I decided I wanted to see what starching was all about. So I bought a layer cake of Happy Days, which is what this fabric line is from Sherry and Chelsea of Quilting Life. And this, the Brightside quilt, is their pattern. So I just bought a layer cake, and because I figured a layer, each time we had a new block, it tells us what colors we needed to use. So I pulled out those 2 particular 10 by 10 squares, and I spray starched them with best press. I just gave them a spray till they were all damp, and then I pressed them dry, let them sit, and then I started cutting them up. So it's very much tighter fabric. The weave in it feels better. It's not flimsy, but when you're piecing, it pieces a little better, I think. Things seem to line up, and it doesn't fray. Your ends don't fray when you've starched it. But I've never done anything bigger than a 10 by 10 square till now. So the other thing that I did on the weekend, I had a friend come over, and it was the first time we've done this since that deadly COVID thing started. And she came into the house. We went down to my basement. I have a big basement. So we set up some tables. I set a cutting table up. I set the ironing board up in one. We both had a table each with our sewing machines on. We had snacks, and we sewed all day. And oh my goodness, it was so much fun. And that's when I sewed this one. So I made that day. The other thing that I made was this. I love this. Isn't this amazing? So this is the Quilter Stand for Ukraine pattern that Pat Sloan of ilovetomakequilts.com designed for, obviously, a fundraiser for Ukraine. And this was 2 fat quarters that I got. This is what I've done so far for the back. And this isn't even stuck together yet or pinned. I literally just have sandwiched it. So I just did the back like that, and this was the leftover. So basically, you could more than likely get away with doing it with a fat 1/8. But I bought 2 fat quarters, this one and this one, and I had some white fabric that I could use to be the background. And I actually starched the night before the 2 fat quarters and the rest of the white fabric. I starched them. I've never done that one that big, and pressed them dry and hung them up to fully dry so that in the morning they were done, ready. I can't believe, again, how much easier it was to sew the pieces together, to cut the pieces, because I had to cut them all out, and it just has come out lovely. I absolutely love the way it's come out. I mean, it needs a good press because it's and a pin on here properly. I have to now decide how I am going to quilt it. So this is the pattern. It is a free pattern. However, on the website where you can get it from, there is a button to donate. And I donated to help the people in Ukraine. It's a UNICEF organization who are handling it via Pat's website. So I love it. Some people have added additional borders. I'm not going to. I'm just going to leave it just like this. And I'm going to put this on, once I've quilted it, and I'm going to use a white to do the border, the binding, and then I'm going to hang it on my front window. So to show my support. So that was a lot of fun. And again, I actually starched. So I think I might be kind of getting into the starching business. I think it's really going to be a game changer, because let's look at this next one, which is my finished object actually for the week. I should have showed you this first. And this is the Unravelled quilt, which was in one of the Sew Sampler boxes, and it uses the seamstress 2 charm packs, which are the 5-inch squares, and a finishing kit. So here is all the finishing fabrics that you need and how much you need. But at the time, at the Fat Quarter Shop, we're offering finishing kits. So it included your background and your borders and your binding. It just didn't give you the backing fabric. But I really liked this, and so did my daughter-in-law. So I decided that she could have this for her birthday, which was in February, but I was that busy doing bobs I didn't have time. So here it is, finished. And well, I can't really get it all in the shot, but I actually did, it called to do 4 rows of 4, but you will notice that I did 5 because I wanted to make it longer for her, and I had enough fabric to do that. I ended up with 4 charm squares left out of the whole thing, even by doing the extra charm, using the extra charms on the bottom row to do that. And what I then noticed was I did not have enough of the white to go all the way on 2 sides of the border. So I added a piece on either end of that there, and then centered it in the middle of my piece and pinned it on and sewed it. And you know, it's there, but by the time it's quilted, you're not going to notice it. The same happened with this pink. Because I've made it so much bigger, I didn't have enough of this fabric, so I did the same thing. Only on 2 sides, I needed to add the extra piece. And anyway, I like it. Here's a picture of it on my floor in the living room, just so you can see, because it's really hard to show you in front of the camera, but it is really fun. And this I did not starch, so you can see how much give there is. And again, even when you're sewing, it moves a lot, I found, under the needle, whereas the starched pieces didn't. So yeah, I might be becoming a convert to the starching business. So that's where I'm up to right now. I'm waiting for the final cotton cuts to come in, or I think it's the final one, the block. And I have another sew sampler on the way, so I'll have that block of the month, but they're not here yet. So I think what I'm going to do, I need to get fabric for the backing for the Unravelled, which I'll need to order. I do need to quilt the Ukraine one, so that's what we'll be getting worked on this weekend. But I think I'm going to start this one for my other daughter-in-law. And this is the fabric, which, let's see if I can show you. This is Celestial, and it is a motif fabric by Zen Chic. And let's see if we can unravel some pieces for you to show you the colors. So we have this one, this one, this one. This reminds me of a dress I had. Oh, I like that one. It's got the gray speckles in it. This one. There's a nice little pink. This one. Another gray, black. Oh, are we back to the same colors? No? That's nice too with the gold in it. A lot of them are the same pattern, but in a different fabric. And even that's nice. So yeah, oh, this is cute with the, looks like moons. So there, that's this is a jelly roll, so this will be fun to make that quilt. So I might start cutting that this weekend if I have not got anything else on the quilting front to do, till I get my other stuff. Okay, well, that's all I have for you today. I hope you have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you Monday for some knitting. If you're interested in knitting, I'll be here Monday. And Wednesday is a floss tube, so it's all about the cross stitch on Wednesdays. And then next Friday, I'll be back with some more quilty fun. Okay, talk to you soon. Bye.